Hello YouTube, and now BitChute. Al here, and this week I'm going to take a look at this. So this is the Joyo Voodoo Octave. Yes, I've scribbled on it. That's because I've modded it. So, let's get the boring shit out of the way first. I'm now on BitChute. You can now find me at Bad Motivator, capital B, capital M. I'm backing up all my videos to BitChute because YouTube's going a bit weird with people, and I don't like it at all. I don't like the way they're treating people. I don't like that everyone's made to rely on ads. YouTube are adding more, trying to force people to go premium, which is ad-free, so the content creators will effectively end up getting nothing, but YouTube will end up getting all the money. And it's going to turn YouTube into a shop, because the only way people will be able to keep doing content is to get paid by a third party, and I don't like that at all. So I don't want to make this my life if that's the way it's going to go. I wouldn't want to make any money off YouTube if that's the way it's going to go. So I'm backing up everything to YouTube, just because the platform will eventually feel the wrath of the people. So you can go find me there. The link's down in the description. That's me off my soapbox. Back to the pedal. So this is the Joyo Voodoo Octave. It's a, I'm not going to say copy, but it's based on the Fox fuzz, which is a very, very popular fuzz from I believe the 70s. And what Joyo did with it is they put, instead of a switch for octave up and normal, like the Fox FUXX fuzz by Tone City has, this has it on 2 foot switches, so you can turn the fuzz on with one, and then you can have the octave up on top of it. You can't use the octave by itself, which is a bit of a shame, but that's fine. It just folds the, it adds so much gain to the signal that it folds over and creates the upper harmonic. So you can have the normal fuzz and the octave up. You've got a normal or mid-cut switch here. Now, everyone's probably heard about this. I'm probably teaching Granny to suck eggs, but there's something wrong with this pedal. It's not a copy, because 2 of the components in this pedal are actually put in backwards. I believe the PCB itself was mislabeled from the factory. So the simple mod out there on the forums is to find these 2 and just take them out, flip it over and solder it back. And you do that with the 2 capacitors, and Bob's your uncle, you're back to a proper working Fox tone machine. I think it's called a tone machine, that works the way it's supposed to. So I did that on this. It worked, which is why I've scribbled it all over it, because it's my pedal, and I'm really proud that I actually modded a pedal and made it work. So that's all I've done to it, really. Oh yeah, it was the one on the tone control. I accidentally broke that capacitor because I was trying to pull out the wrong one because I wasn't really paying attention. So I ended up putting a orange drop 0.22 in because it looked the same, and whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't care. It's only a cheap pedal anyway. But it all works and it sounds really good. It does sound a lot better than it did last time. So I'm going to plug it in and we're going to see how it sounds. And I'm going to be running it off a battery because my pedal board is at my mate's house. It's a very long story involving recording and stuff. So let's see how this thing sounds. Okay, so I'm using my Encore Strat, the new one with the nice decals someone's put on it. The name on the headstock's Gabriel. Don't ask me why. These pickups aren't stock, but it just sounds fantastic. I'm using my custom double barrel 212 with Celestion V30s. The pedals on the top. I've only got one long cable with me, so I've used the long patch lead and the pedals on top of the amp. Let's try the pedal. Here we go. 12. Let's turn the fuzz back to a quarter of the way up. Bit less spitty, a bit less velcro-y. That's with the normal. Let's go to the mid cut. That's without the octave, but with the mid cut, you kind of hear it a little bit. So the mid cut sounds alright. Let's go to the normal mode and let's pop the octave on top. The gain, the more the octave kind of pokes through, so you kind of want to find that nice level where you like it without the octave, and it still sort of comes through. That sounds better, you see. That's gone from 9 o'clock to about 11 o'clock. About the neck pickup on this Strat, to be honest. That's the bridge. Neck. Let's do the gain up to halfway. Octave off. So it doesn't really work with chords with the octave on. It doesn't quite... it's an octave fuzz. It's not really meant for that. It's meant for the fluty stuff. All that crap, you know. All that. That's what you're doing. You're playing A. So let's, for the last thing, let's go to the mid cut. Octave on top. With the normal, it's mid cut. So there you go, that's a look at the mod you can do to the Joyo Voodoo Octave. Again, it's just two capacitors, they're both in the wrong way, so if you take the capacitor out, turn it around, put it back and do the same with the other one, it should sound in this ballpark. I think it sounds way better now than it did stock. There was a real sort of harshness, especially a brittle sort of top end that you just could not shed, and it kind of pervaded everything. And I was not a fan. So if I'm not going to direct you to the link online because it may well get deleted or moved, but I've got it in my head it's C9 and C12, but do not quote me on that. Go look online and you will find forum posts from people who have done this mod and try it for yourself. There you go. If you're handy with a soldering iron, I don't see why you can't try it yourself. It's a little bit fiddly, but it's if you can solder a bit, you should be able to do it. I think really improves the sound of this pedal. It makes it a lot more versatile, a lot less harsh in an unpleasant way, and it sort of rounds it off a bit. a bit nicer. Still not really the thing you'd want for the Hendrix thing, despite the name. In my opinion, it's not the sort of thing you'd need. I'd say the Moen Octave Fuzz is fantastic if you want an octave fuzz. It doesn't have a foot switch on it, it's octave fuzz only, but I mean, personally, that's what I would pick if I wanted the Hendrix thing. But if you want a fuzz and an octave up in one box, this is a really great pedal. Once you mod it, before then, So anyway, that's my opinion. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that nonsense, and I shall see you next week. So until then, bye bye.